Right off the bat, I want you to do something for me. Grab your phone for a second, open your Super app, and take a look at your balance. Got it? Okay, now ask yourself honestly, is that number actually where it should be for your age?
I ask because some brand new retirement data has just dropped, and for the first time in 3 whole years, the retirement targets have increased. So, by the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly where you stand. We're going to compare your balance right now with the official target, the average, and the median for your specific age group.
All right, Section 1, the Super Reality Check. Now, you might be wondering how most people figure out if they're on track. Well, usually they do it completely the wrong way. You know how it goes. You ask a mate how much super they have, realize your numbers are kind of similar, and just assume everything's fine. The problem there is that the average Australian is already behind on their retirement savings, so matching the average absolutely does not mean you're on track. Plus, average figures are artificially pulled way up by a small handful of very high-income earners. Looking at the median gives us a much better picture of the typical Australian's reality. But your true benchmark, that's the official retirement target, which shows exactly what your balance should look like at every single stage of life. Okay, let's dive into Section 2, Funding a Comfortable Retirement. When we say a comfortable retirement, we are not talking about a luxury lifestyle of super yachts and caviar. We literally just mean being able to afford private health insurance, driving a reasonably reliable car, taking the occasional holiday, keeping the air conditioner running without having a panic attack over the electricity bill, and eating out maybe a few times a month. In today's economy, funding that baseline lifestyle costs about $54,800 a year for a single person and around $77,400 for a couple. To actually support that lifestyle starting from age 67, well, you might want to brace yourself for a bit of sticker shock here. A single person needs a massive $630,000 in super. And for a couple, that target hits $730,000. These numbers have had to go up largely because everyday living costs have just skyrocketed way faster than the age pension. Things like electricity, groceries, and medical expenses have all become significantly more expensive, and those just happen to be the biggest costs retirees face. So as that final finish line target rises, every single age-based milestone target has to rise right along with it. Moving into Section 3, the age-by-age breakdown. So let's walk through exactly what these numbers look like in reality. People aged 18 to 24 typically have a median balance of around $5,000. Honestly, that's perfectly normal at the very beginning of a career. By age 25, the recommended target is $27,500. For the 25 to 29 bracket, the median sits around $19,000, while the average gets pulled up to closer to $24,000. But pay attention to age 30, because the recommended target jumps to $70,500, leaving a ton of people well behind. By the way, hitting your 30s is the absolute perfect time to consolidate multiple super accounts so you aren't bleeding money on unnecessary fees. Which brings us to Section 4, the gender savings gap. Through ages 30 to 34, the median balance is about $36,000. Meanwhile, the average sits around $53,000 for men and $44,500 for women. But by age 35, that recommended target balloons to $118,000. This means even the average man is falling about $28,000 short, and the average woman is around $46,000 behind. This brilliantly, or maybe I should say tragically, illustrates how things like career breaks, part-time work, and the gender pay gap really start to severely impact retirement savings at this stage of life. Fast forward to the 40 to 44 age bracket, and the median balance is just under $80,000. Average balances are around $131,800 for men and $122,700 for women, but the target at age 40 is $178,000. And then we hit a terrifying reality check at age 45. For Australians aged 45 to 49, the median balance is about $144,300, but the target climbs to $239,000, meaning the typical Australian faces a massive gap of almost $95,000 below where they should be. Getting into the later years, at age 50, the target reaches $313,500, with many people still well below that. For those 55 to 59, the target is roughly $399,000, while average balances are about $319,000 for men and $228,000 for women. And again, keep in mind that those averages are skewed by a few massive accounts. Between ages 60 and 64, the median balance is only around $163,200. Compare that to a required target of approximately $496,500. Averages for that group hit $380,700 for men and $300,700 for women. Even for those aged 65 to 69, the median is just close to $218,000. So even late in their careers, typical balances remain drastically below the actual recommended finish line.
Now, there is one absolutely crucial caveat hidden in all of these benchmarks that we need to mention. These targets assume two things: that you own your home outright when you retire, and that you'll receive a part-age pension. If you're going to be renting in retirement, you are going to need significantly more financial support than these numbers even suggest.
Okay, deep breath. Section 5, how to catch up.
So the crucial point here is that we can fix this. The exceptionally good news is that the super guarantee has officially increased to 12%. That means simply by doing your job, your future balance is automatically getting a much larger boost directly from your employer.
On top of that, starting in July 2026, employers will actually be required to pay your super every single payday instead of hoarding it and paying it out once a quarter. This is a game changer because your money gets deposited faster, which means it starts compounding much sooner. But you don't have to just wait around for your employer. You can take control right now. For instance, you can set up a salary sacrifice of up to $30,000 a year in concessional contributions. The beauty of this is that it's taxed at a super low 15%. And hey, if you happen to have extra cash on hand and you meet the eligibility, you can also drop up to $120,000 a year in non-concessional or after-tax contributions. Always remember this. Every extra dollar invested today has years to grow before retirement, making a significant difference to your future balance. That is the immense, almost magical power of compounding. Time in the market really is your greatest asset here. So what's it going to be? Are you settling for the average, or are you aiming for the target? It's time to evaluate your true financial trajectory. If you found this explainer helpful, please hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, share this explainer with a friend or a family member who maybe hasn't checked their super balance in a while. Trust me, they'll thank you later. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.